Breaking tonight on Wink News, fire season storms into southwest Florida. We just learned the simple way this started. And also breaking, an elderly man and woman found dead in their homes. The tragic information investigators just released. And a doctor accused of sexually assaulting a patient is a free man tonight. How he got out of jail so soon. We begin with Wink News' the Weather Authority, and the cold continues to shock our sea turtles. Rescuers helped save 400 stranded turtles yesterday alone, and they're warning for you to look out for them if you are on the water this weekend. Now, the good news is that we are warming back up. Meteorologist Zach Malak here with the very latest.
Yeah, John Carlos, we actually had 66 as a high for today. 61 was the high yesterday. So a gradual warm up is in store. Back in the lower 70s for your Sunday afternoon, and then into the upper 70s, lower 80s we go. 77 Monday, 78 Tuesday and Wednesday, and your Thursday back in the lower 80s, back above average as well. The average high 74. So if you have not liked the cool or the cold air, it's not going to last too much longer. In fact, tomorrow morning is going to be the last cold morning in store, where temperatures still back in the upper 30s and lower 40s inland, upper 40s right along the immediate coastline. If you have any Sunday morning plans, expect a mostly clear sky. Again, cold to start, but warmer for the afternoon. Can you expect rain in the 7-day forecast? Details on that coming up in just a bit.
And breaking news here in Lee County, a deputy-involved shooting. We just got this new video from the scene in St. Carlos Park, and you can see a massive law enforcement presence here. This is unfolding on Morgan Road and DuPont Drive. We are working to find out if anyone was injured. A press conference is scheduled for 7 p.m., and we plan to stream it live on the Wink News Facebook page for you. Count on Wink News for more breaking details as soon as they come in. And also breaking right now, a fire threatening homes in Golden Gate Estates. You can see the flames here in this new cell phone video. Crews are battling the flames right now on 23rd Street Southwest near White Boulevard. And let's get right out to Wink News reporter Oliver Resden with those breaking details.
Well, John, fire officials tell us it's pretty much under control now, but I want to give you an idea of just how big this fire was. They say it burned about 2 acres of land here in Collier County. They say they believe it started from a neighbor who was burning trash and yard debris in his backyard. About 8 vehicles responded from Greater Naples and North Collier Fire. They say there was one structure that was in danger, but they were able to save that structure with no damage. And it's important to note at this hour, they're still not positive on the exact cause of the fire. They say they'll need to have an interview with that homeowner before they can determine the exact cause. So, of course, as soon as we know that, we'll bring it to you. For now, in Collier County, Oliver Redston, Wink News Now.
Well, thank you, Oliver. And we have the latest information on Southwest Florida's fire danger. Here's a map. You can see Lee and Charlotte County are at very high risk, while Collier County is at moderate risk. The risk escalated quickly during our cold snap. And also breaking right now, deputies are investigating a murder-suicide. An elderly man and woman found dead inside that home. This is unfolding here on Latana Circle in the Old Cypress community just north of Immokalee Road. The 2 people dead are 79-year-old Anthony Delia and his wife Josephine. They were found by their caregivers. And this comes less than a month after Cape Coral police say Jason McGuire gunned down his wife in her home. Only Wink News revealed last night McGuire's ankle monitor didn't alert authorities. He went to her home according to a letter from the court. The court ordered him to stay away from her after police say he threatened her with a hammer. That ankle monitor company has not responded to our request for comment. And breaking in the last few hours, this doctor accused of sexually assaulting a patient during a procedure walks out of jail tonight as if Chowdhury's wife just paid his bond. A judge today ordered the gastrointestinal specialist not to practice medicine or perform any colonoscopies. Chowdhury's lawyer says the charges blindsided his wife.
Well, anytime anyone is charged with these types of allegations, shock is a good way to put it, but she stands by her husband.
His primary office is off of Metro and Daniels Parkway in Fort Myers. He'll be back in court next month. And just then, an accused gang member agrees to help the case against other gang members. Court documents reveal Leonard Hamilton accepted a plea deal in exchange. And besides racketeering charges, police also arrested Hamilton for shooting a 14-year-old in the face over some change back in 2006. Now, you might remember law enforcement arrested 21 accused Lake Boys members on RICO charges last January. A new video of a fire in Fort Myers car lot. This was seen just a few hours ago along Palm Beach Boulevard. Firefighters put it out in a matter of minutes. No word yet on what caused this fire. Count on Wink News as soon as we learn what happened. And a mom and her baby are recovering today after a scary water rescue. North Collier Fire Rescue helped pull them out of of water at 29th Avenue and DeSoto Boulevard. It's unclear how the car ended up in the water like this, and thankfully the mom and the little one made it out just fine. Fire Rescue reminds you that if you do ever find yourself in this situation, the most important thing is to stay calm. And police are still looking for a fourth suspect from a wild car chase. A stolen car from Miami was clocked going 100 miles an hour on I-75 last night. Collier County deputies tried to pull it over, but instead it sped off. The chase eventually ended at an apartment complex in North Naples. The 4 people in the car tried to run away. 3 of them were arrested. And this isn't your usual car accident. Police say a black Mercedes crashed into a garage in North Naples and smashed into a Rolls Royce. You can see in the pictures here the crash caused severe damage to the car and to the garage. Thankfully, no one was hurt. And the search is still on for the angler who disappeared on Lake Okeechobee. Ground and aerial crews were combing the lake for him. Nikki Kaler went missing Thursday after a fishing competition. His partner is currently hospitalized with hypothermia. Officials found their boat 50 miles away severely damaged. They believe the boat was capsized. Kaler never made it back in. And it might take you a little longer to get around this weekend. A triathlon in Collier County is causing delays at North Naples, Golden Gate Estates, and Ave Maria. The HITS triathlon picks up again tomorrow. It could slow down roads like Vanderbilt Beach as much as 40 minutes. The race will wrap up tomorrow after 1 p.m. And police are searching for this man accused of stealing a Rolex worth more than 10 grand. You can see him here on the right in dark colored t-shirt and some khakis right there. This happened at the Sawgrass Mills Mall in Sunrise on New Year's Eve. The suspect was looking at watches when a second suspect set off fireworks outside of the store. That's when police say he took off, still wearing that Rolex. Police are still trying to identify the second suspect too. And President Donald Trump goes on the defensive. He fired off several tweets this morning, blasting the author of a new tell-all book. The president took aim at the U.S. libel laws, claiming that anyone can say whatever they please. But as Wink News reporter Laura Podesta reports, that author isn't backing down.
President Trump says his track record proves he is a stable genius, despite accusations in the book Fire and Fury claiming he's mentally unfit for office.
I was a very excellent student, came out, made billions and billions of dollars, became one of the top business people.
The president, along with members of his cabinet and top Republican leaders, held meetings at Camp David to lay out the framework for their 2018 agenda Saturday. In the book, Michael Wolff portrays the president's mental fitness as childlike and the White House as a place of dysfunction and chaos.
I have recordings, I have notes. I am certainly and absolutely in every way comfortable with everything I've reported in this book.
Mr. Trump blamed former chief White House strategist Steve Bannon for allowing Wolff access to White House staffers.
I guess Sloppy Steve brought him into the White House quite a bit, and it was one of those things. That's why Sloppy Steve is now looking for a job.
Wolff is standing by his book and believes the revelations in it could be the downfall of Mr. Trump's presidency.
The story that I've told seems to present this presidency in such a way that it says he can't do this job. The emperor has no clothes. And suddenly, everywhere, people are going, oh my God, it's true. He has no clothes.
Mr. Trump calls the book a work of fiction.
That was Laura Podesta reporting. Wolff claims that he interviewed President Trump for over 3 hours. The president says that never happened. And if you still have debris left over from Irma, the window to get rid of it is about to close. The last 2 Lee County debris drop-off close tomorrow at 5. After that, you can leave it out in your curb or for normal collection. Lee County says they spent nearly $40 million on collecting more than 1.6 million cubic yards of debris since the storm. And if you're still putting your home back together after Irma, FEMA can still help. They're on hand at the Lee County Home Remodeling Show this weekend at the Lee Civic Center. They're offering advice and help for homeowners impacted by the hurricane. The home show continues tomorrow from 11 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. And this is a 7-Eleven where the $450 million lotto ticket was sold. The ticket in Port Richey matched all 6 numbers from last night's drawing, except the winner still hasn't come forward. They have 180 days to claim their prize, and you still have a chance to win big. The Powerball drawing is tonight. Count on Wink News to bring you those numbers as soon as they come in. And today marks 1 year since the deadly shooting at the Fort Lauderdale airport. 5 people died after a man opened fire at baggage claim. This video shows the chaos following that shooting. The shooter checked a gun in his bag on his trip from Alaska. He pleaded not guilty to 22 charges against him. His trial is set for later this month. And a famous family is mourning today, one of its own, after it lost its star. Jerry Van Dyke died yesterday afternoon at his Arkansas ranch. His wife said he never fully recovered from a car accident 2 years ago. The Van Dyke brothers made his acting debut on his brother's show, The Dick Van Dyke Show, in the 1960s. He performed stand-up at military bases around the world, and he found fame later in life on his 90s sitcom Coach. He was 86. And one of the first men to ever set foot on the moon has died. Astronaut John Young passed away last night at his Houston home. He was 86 years old. Young was the 9th man to walk on the moon. He is also the first person to fly in space 6 times. The astronaut grew up in Orlando. His flight experience spanned 50 years. And for some of us, being surrounded by snakes is a nightmare, but for one little boy, it is the chance of a lifetime. Why an 8-year-old traveled all the way from Colorado to Florida to hang out with the reptiles. Coming up on Wink News.
And after a warmer afternoon, now seeing temperatures back on the cooler side. Upper 50s right now in Fort Myers. What's in store over the next 7 days? That forecast is coming up.